Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to study about the refrigeration and air conditioning. Another class number five. Today's class we are going to study about the methods of refrigeration. As you know, in the last class we studied about four numbers of the methods of refrigeration, and after that from the chemical methods, from towards the chemical methods, we are going to study about this class. So chemical methods. In the chemical methods, the heat is required for the completion of some chemical reaction. Would have to be conducted, or that for that we are taking some substance to be cooled. Actually, as you know that for conducting a chemical reaction, the heat is required. So that heat is collected from some certain substances to be cooled. Okay, so the chemical method is producing the cooling effect cannot be flowed by a commercial scale, because it is very less amount of cooling is actually provided. So that is why we cannot use this for a commercial scale. Okay, now the next one is the air or gas refrigeration. So as you know, when a gas is expanded, the pressure will and the its pressure will be very less. Okay, and the temperature is very less. Okay, so this cooling effect is result without change of the phase of a gas actually. Okay, so there is no change in the phase in here actually. So as you know, there will be when the air is compressed isentropically from an atmospheric conditions, like one atmospheric pressure. The pressure is one atmospheric pressure, and here I take the temperature is 15 degrees centigrade to a 5 atmospheric pressure. The temperature after the compression would be, like here you can see in the equation, T2 is equal to 456.3 Kelvin. So the compressed air may be next to be cooled to a initial temperature of the 15 degrees centigrade in the heat exchange without any loss of the pressure. So this stage, the point 3, okay, in this stage, the temperature is 288 Kelvin. Okay, the temperature is 288 Kelvin. Here the pressure is 5 atmosphere pressure. So the subsequently, as you know that the cooling is at a high pressure can be expanded in a suitable device to the original pressure of 1 atmospheric pressure. So the temperature after expansion will be given the equation. The second equation, T4 is equal to, in this equation the temperature becomes minus 91.2 degrees centigrade. Okay, so the different refrigeration systems is used for the thermodynamic principle for producing this lowering the temperature. The next one is throttling process. In this process, the expansion of the fluid from a high pressure to a lower pressure. So this process occurs when the fluid passes through an obstruction, that is partially an opened valve or a small orifice placed in the fluid flow passage. Okay, so this figure number 2.7, which is shows the schematic of the porous plug experiment, which is conducted by Joule and Thomson in 1852. So here a stream of compressible gas is made to pass the steadily through a porous plug placed in an insulated and horizontal pipe. So the upstream conditions, the pressure P1 and the temperature T1, which is a constant, and the corresponding values are at the exit is measured. The friction of the narrow passage causes the pressure of to drop accordingly to the exit pressure PE, which is lesser than the intake pressure P1, okay, or PI, the initial pressure PI. So the throttling process is characterized by mainly four features. First one is there is no shaft work is required, and there is a heat interaction between the pipe is thermally insulated, and there is no change in the potential energy, and that is why the pipe is, because the pipe is placed in a horizontal way, and the negligible changes in the kinetic energy. So these are the main four features which the throttling process is having a good one. So here you can apply the energy steady state energy equation actually. Like you know the steady state energy equation, which is you studied already. Let me tell you. H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1 plus Q, which is equal to H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2 plus WS. Here H1 and H2, which are the enthalpies which is remain constant for the during the throttling process. So and also from this equation we can see there is an ideal gas behavior which is H is equal to Cp into T, where Cp is the specific constant pressure at a constant pressure and temperature, yes you know. So when these enthalpies are constant, that is equal, H1 is equal to H2, both sides the enthalpies are equal. So similarly Cpt1 into equal to Cpt2, so that becomes the temperature T1 is equal to T2, temperature T1 which is equal to T2. Anyway, let's the equality of the temperatures implies, which is the internal energy becomes equal. So as you know that the throttling, which is irreversible process and which involve the degradation of the energy, that is duplication of the turbulence. So here there is another figure which is given 2.9, which represents the simplified arrangement of the refrigeration by throttling of a gas. So the throttling process occurs when the gas is at a high pressure with the temperature below its critical temperature, which is made to pass through a valve which is restricted in the opening. So upon the throttling, the temperature of the gas reduces and cooling effect is produced. So the next one is mechanical refrigeration. So the natural and chemical methods which is successfully replaced by this mechanical refrigeration. So in these methods, the heat is abstracted from a substance or the space to be cooled, which is pumped to a system that is which is high temperature level, which is having a high temperature level, by taking the energy from an external source as in the input to the refrigeration machine. So it's simply in our modern type of refrigeration system, as I am going to tell you. So in this one, the refrigeration system consists of a cycle of process, which is the same quantity of working fluid, that is the refrigerant, which is in the continuous circulation. So in the first refrigeration, the first commercial refrigeration system is operated by in the UK, okay, by Perkins. And this system consists around a hand operated compressor and a water cooled condenser and a throttle valve and a evaporator. Okay, so this system consists a working substance of either. I think in the first class I already mentioned about that working of the Perkins model. Okay, now okay, so in this one the mechanical yeah, so the liquid of the ether, as I remember, I will take that once more actually. The ether which is throttled in the low pressure, which is taken to the evaporator, and the heat was absorbed and cooling effect is produced. So as you know that the ether having a lower boiling point, and it will always in the vapor state. When the a little more temperature is there, then it will also always absorb that heat actually, okay, from the surroundings. And the refrigerant of the ether was used because again and again in a cyclic process, because with a negligible wastage, okay. And yeah, so some sort of development of the electric motors, which is which having a high speed to the compressor. So either these two was replaced by the new working substances. So here some mechanical refrigeration system, which is classified into mainly air or gas refrigeration, or vapor compression system, or the vapor absorption system, or the steam jet refrigeration. So the energy needed in the form actually the mechanical or electrical or the thermal. Okay, and also it required due to this working energy crisis, it concerned a lot of effort which is made by various agencies to develop this refrigeration system. Okay, now we are going to discuss about these non-conventional refrigeration systems. So the first one coming to here, which is thermoelectric cooling actually, which is uses the Peltier effect to create a heat flux between the junctions of two different types of materials, which is shown in the figure 2.10, the thermoelectric cooling. So here the direct current which is made pass through an electrical junction between these unlike materials, that is the metals. We are using here the metals, which is heating and cooling effect will be produced. Here you can see one junction gets heated and another junction gets cooled, and the cold junction is located inside the space actually, and which is directed to be cooled, and warmed junction is outside the surroundings, because the hot junctions, the hot and cold junctions are to be reversed when the change of the occur in the direction of the flow of current. So as you know that there is an equation which is energy balancing system. For the energy balance system, that is QH minus QC is equal to EI, where E is the EMF and I is the current actually, which is I didn't provide in this slide, but the equation is QH minus QC, which is equal to E into I, where E is the EMF applied and I is the current. Okay, QH and QC are the actual amount of heat flows in the hot and cold junction. Okay, the others main non-conventional systems are, one is the magnetic refrigeration system. Okay, or it is also known as adiabatic magnetization, which is a cooling technology which is based on the magnetic caloric effect. So the intrinsic property of the magnetic solids is used in here. A strong magnetic field is applied to the refrigerant, which is posing its various magnetic dipole to align and putting these degrees of freedom of the refrigerant to state of the lowered entropy. So a heat sink then absorbs that heat released by the refrigerant due to the loss of entropy, and a thermal contact with these heat sink is then broken so that to the system is insulated and the magnetic field is switched off. So this increases the heat capacity of the refrigerant, and thus there is a decrease in the temperature below the temperature of the heat sink. So the refrigerant often a paramagnetic salt, that is ceruleum or magnesium nitrate, like etc. And these active magnetic dipoles whose electron shell of the paramagnetic atoms. So another method is thermoacoustic refrigeration. In this method, these sound waves are used, which is pressurized to a gas and to drive the heat exchange. And vortex tube refrigeration system I already discussed in the previous videos, but I will tell you a little bit. It operates a compressed air and used to sport cooling. A high pressure of gas which is allowed to expand through in a nozzle and fitted which is tangentially to a pipe, and this causes a simultaneous discharge of cool and hot air. Okay, so the cool air is provided at the core and the hot air at the periphery. Okay, that is a periphery. So the mechanical refrigeration, which is non-conventional refrigeration systems, which have been deal with detailed in the appropriate places actually. Okay, so these are about these different methods of refrigeration. Okay, so next we are going to study about the application of the refrigeration in the next video. Okay, anyway, thank you for the